Okay, good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. A gentle reminder, as always, to smash the like button. These are free and easy ways to support the channel, and I'm sure you guys will be further motivated to hit that like button when you guys have seen who my guest is. I call her the number one leading authority on all things women's football. Crystal Davis, one of the top vloggers in the house on the Formula Sports channel. Crystal, welcome to the channel.
You're far too kind. You're way too kind, Formula. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me onto your channel. It's an absolute pleasure to grace your channel. I think the last time you was on my channel was towards the latter stage of last year, right? And that again was one of my favorite live streams. So thank you
Crystal,
again for blessing me with your time.
that is one of my favorite videos that I've ever
Yeah,
done. To be
yeah.
honest with you, I think it was a very good video.
Yeah,
Very
a
good
lot of
video.
people said that it was like informative and it was balanced. And I was like, okay, thank you. So my job here is done. So thank you for that.
By the way, this is the first time you're on my channel.
I know it seems crazy. I know. It's the first time for everything.
Crystal, you and I are not friends again, Crystal. You and I are not friends again. What took you so long, Crystal?
I didn't want to intrude. I didn't like to intrude, but I love having I love your platform. I said this to Ryan LFC a couple months back. I was like, yeah, Formula is definitely someone that's worth collaborating with because like I said to you before, you give a balanced perspective and 9 out of 10 times it is very professional, it's mature, it's light-hearted content, easy to digest. So I love your content.
I am very flattered. I am very flattered. All right. So Crystal is here because we're gonna be doing a preview to the Reggae Girls versus Bermuda, that big upcoming World Cup qualifying game, which takes place on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, which is 2 days from now. It's the first round, right?
Mm-hmm. First round. First round. These are the qualifiers. So this would be the Concacaf women's qualifiers, and then you go through to the second hurdle.
So, all right. So, just explain this a little bit to me because I'm not so clear on this. So, is it a case with like the men where there were teams already in the second round, awaiting the teams to come through the qualifiers?
Yeah, so the teams that's there, lucky for them, would be to
Let me
no
guess, US
surprise.
and Canada.
There we
Usually.
go. There we go to no surprise, right? The sweetheart of their regions. Hopefully one day the reggae girls can get that type of clutch. So yeah, they're already through to the what we're looking at as the second hurdle. So the rest of us are at the guess you want to if you talk about track and field, we're just like lining up in our blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, is just those two teams alone in the second round already?
They're in the second round already, yeah. So basically the in July, so it will be July of this year, we would have four teams that advance to the women's World Cup. So the World Cup next year will be held between Australia and
And
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully a few of us can go over to Australia or New Zealand and cheer on the girls if they qualify.
You were in France, right?
I was. I
Before
was
before we get into the preview, what was that experience?
that was just pure. I don't even have the right words to sum it up. I think that's probably why I have such like a strong admiration for the women's team because like I said on Manning's channel, they gave me like the greatest gift that you could give to a football fan. They took you to arguably the best sporting event in the world, that being the World Cup. And imagine going to your first ever World Cup and you're not there to support no other country but your own, your country of birth, and you're coming out and your first game is against Brazil. your debut in the World Cup is against Brazil. It is literally reggae versus samba. You can't go wrong. I'm waking up in tears because I'm like, I can't believe I'm in France. And also, I can't believe I'm going to watch the girls play at their first ever World Cup. So it was just magical, completely magical, despite of the score line, and it went down to the last game. That was when we managed to see our first and only goal, but it was worth it. When that goal went in, the atmosphere, everybody in the stadium was celebrating, and I think the opponents were fans was happy for us as well. Press box mash up, as you could imagine, with the Jamaicans in the press box. So it was just incredible moment.
Yeah, yeah. Crystal, you see how closely I follow your channel and your operation over there. I knew you were in France. Like that just clicked in my head. I remember that you're in France.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that honestly I envy you. Although envying somebody is not a good thing.
No, I get you. It's a
Because
whole
that must
dream.
have been an amazing
It was
experience.
incredible, Formula. It was just incredible. I don't think nothing will top that. The only thing that can top that is surely you being at the final and seeing your country lift the actual trophy. But
Yeah.
I imagine it will be like, like our parents' generation saying that they were in France watching our male counterparts at the 1998 World Cup, to say that you were there in the stands and at all three games as well. So Brazil, Australia, and Brazil, Italy, and Australia, all three
Australia.
games. Yeah, it was just incredible traveling up and down France. It was just, I would do anything to relive that moment.
That group was very unkind.
Group,
And
I still think we should have beat Italy. I think Italy, I think we beat ourselves against Italy. I think that was probably down to nerves as well, playing on the biggest stage of the player's career. So I think nerves got the better of them against Italy, but obviously against Brazil and against Australia, you can probably say, yeah, those score lines were coming. It was inevitable.
yeah, yeah. It was a really tough and unkind group, to be fair to the girls. I mean
Very
it
tough.
was it was wasn't it like the group of death?
I think any
If memory serves me right.
I think what we have to look at it is we went there with one of the youngest squad. So essentially, any group they
Yeah,
put us in, it would have been the group of death. That's how they would have framed it. And if we
yeah,
had done the unthinkable and come out of the group, it would have been, for a lot of people, the Cinderella story. So it depends on how you want to see it, really. But I think, again, bearing in mind it was our debut, and also it was we had one of the youngest squads at the World Cup, that it was somewhat expected.
yeah. Before I ask you this, Crystal,
Ryan
just
said he would love to join us, but his six pack is
doing
more
some work.
important than us. All right, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan saying six pack more important than the reggae girls. Shame on you, Ryan. Shame on you.
Shame on you, Mr. LFC.
Arby's, big up, man, big up. Who this?
Mr. Biz.
Gigo Dane. Hopefully I pronounce your name right. Big up as well, man of God as well. Yeah, man, Arby's. It's been a while, boss. How you doing, man? Big up yourself, man. Um, Crystal, you touched on a point earlier, though.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to expound on a little bit. You said it was a young squad that were brought to the last Women's World Cup, right? How
Mm-hmm.
much you think the squad has grown from then since now? You think there has been vast improvement in the squad from then till now?
I love your question, and I think, yeah, definitely. And you only have to look at club level, and you can possibly pick out two players in terms of the trajectory of their career, and you can see that it's an upward trajectory, and it's one that's moving in the right direction. So you can look at Alison Swaby, for example, the trajectory of her career going over to Roma, lifting a trophy for Roma, historic moment not just for Swaby, Alison Swaby that is, but also for
Yeah,
Roma. And then you can look at our forward, the forward being Bunny, and what she did over in France with Bordeaux, and then moving over subsequently to Manchester City in the Women's Super League in England. And you can look at those two players, and that's just an example. You have Tiffany Cameron, heavy big time trophy lifter with over
yeah,
in Hungary as well. So
hungry. Yeah,
Exactly. So the players are definitely moving in the right trajectory. So I'm not worried in that regard. And players like Jodie as well, Jodie, the babyface assassin, like she is well making a habit of lifting trophies. So the players are used to winning things. It's not a case of, oh, it's only the marquee player being Bunny that's used to success. There's like individual success there at club level where the girls are concerned. So one thing I like about them, and I've said it time and time again, is that I don't question their commitment. The commitment's always going to be there, and you can see it whether you're new to watching the team play or not.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. That's
yeah, it's
true.
always been there. They've always had that togetherness, and long may it continue. I hope nothing is powerful enough to divide that unity that they've shown at the last World Cup cycle. I'm hoping and praying that I can see more of it this time round.
By the way, you just touch Crystal. Uh, we have great chemistry in a Crystal. We should do
Someone,
more
I'm so
videos
happy
together.
you've said that. Someone said it, and I'm just like, you are so right. Like people have told me, you need to bring back Formula and you need to bring back Ryan. I even had somebody that was hammering me in my comment section to the point where I had to call Ryan. And I think it's
I
crazy.
remember watching that
Yeah,
stream. I
it's
remember
crazy. It's
watching
like
that stream.
once you have a relationship or a bond with someone, like the content is just beautiful. So that's why I love working with you.
But you see, the thing is now, I was about to segue to something, and you segue to it for me, which
Yeah.
is the unity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And just juxtaposing what we saw with or the I don't want to say the rumor, so to speak, with what was transpiring with the boys at
Mm-hmm.
in the earlier stages of the World Cup qualifying campaign, where there was a lot of talk going around that the boys weren't unified. That whole local based verse. Me never like talk about it, to be honest with you. The
Yeah.
local based versus UK, but it's a reality that you know many are credible sources deemed to have existed in the camp.
Yeah.
How just the unity in the Reggae Girls camp? Just expound on that a little bit for me in terms of just how big of a deal it is and just how much of a positive impact it can have on the girls' performances on a whole.
Huge amount of impact. I've been fortunate where I've managed to meet the Reggae Girls live in flesh in possibly three different countries. So in Jamaica, when they were doing their send off, weirdly, coincidentally enough, and also when they came to London for their London send off, and then subsequently over in France. And the unity and the energy has always been the same. This is why I say to people, whatever you see on the pitch and whatever you see in the training ground, that's exactly how they are outside of the field of play. And for you to win things, you need to be moving as a unit. And I think it's actually quite beautiful from what we know of women. Typically, people are like women can't get on, but the Reggae Girls have just completely dismantled that because they
And
can get on.
I think that is
Evidently,
such a gross stereotype that needs to be done away with. Because honestly,
exactly.
sometimes I think the women get along better than the men, just in life, generally speaking.
But you can see that. You can see that that's not necessarily the case. Like they
Yeah.
are, in every sense of the word, they are their sister's keeper. And you can only think that that would be a positive thing because what that tells me is that they're willing to die for each other. Literally, I'm willing to die for you. If I'm coming on as a sub, doesn't matter. Coach have me sat on the bench, fair play. But when I come on, I'm going to give a fantastic account of myself. I'm going to continue from where you left off. If you're swapping Khadija Bunny Shaw and you're bringing on Sade Ademolakan, you best bet your last dime on it that Sade is going to come on and give an incredible account of herself. There's pride there, there's energy there, there's synergy there. There's a lot that goes on. So many positives that goes on with the Reggae Girls that the only negative that I can say is that it's unfortunate to see that corporate Jamaica are not buying into something that is literally gold dust. Gold dust. And it's just like, how can you not want this? Like there's so many unique marketing selling points there.
You think corporate Jamaica don't support the girls enough?
Not well enough. Absolutely not. Definitely not. There should be, with the uniqueness, with the individual uniqueness that makes up this reggae girls team, there should be sponsorship left, right, and center. And I'm not just talking about your marquee players. Like every player is unique in their own way. There should be sponsorship flying throughout that whole entire Reggae Girls team. What more did you want of them? They did the unthinkable. Where was the reward? They did the unthinkable. They made sure that under circumstances that is similar to their male counterparts, that they went and did the unthinkable in the sense of qualifying for their first ever World Cup, thus making Jamaica the first and only Caribbean nation to have their both their men's and women's team qualify for a
Yeah,
World Cup.
yeah.
What more do you want of them? What more? Are you going to be ridiculous and say that you want them to win the World Cup before you appreciate them? They basically maximize their potential and achieve absolute greatness. So they should have been rewarded, like sincerely rewarded. But I don't know what people are waiting on to wake up and start put their money where their mouth is.
All right, guys. One, smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button, right? This is top stuff you're getting right here from Crystal, right? Devil's advocate though, Crystal. Devil's
Yeah.
advocate. I remember that whole incident after the World Cup with, if memory serves me right, it was the Pan Am Games, right? Where the girls wanted to go to the Pan Am Games. This is just coming back from the World Cup. And, you know, JFF are try how long for raise the sponsorship, can't raise the sponsorship. Sidela Marley step in, raise the sponsorship just like this, right? I think it was something to the tune of like 50,000 US. See? Devil's advocate. Can we really blast corporate Jamaica for the lack of, is it corporate Jamaica or is it the Football Federation?
I think it goes hand in hand. It goes in hand, really. The Football Federation should have been proactive in their approach. So nothing should be going down to the wire. But that's their habit, that's their style. They're pretty much set in stone. But also for corporate Jamaica have a habit of latching onto things when it is wanted by everyone globally.
Fair point.
Literally.
Fair point.
It's not me sat here making up assumptions or intuitions, whatever way you want to look at it. They want you when everybody else want you. And it's quite foolish because you could get these girls at a much more affordable price. But what you're going to do is you're going to wait until they're at the heights of their career, when you would furthermore, you would then find yourself in a position where you have to stretch your pockets. Good for you, because you could have got them at a much cheaper or more affordable rate, but you don't respect your own until others from outside of our community respect us. Then that's when you want to turn your attention. So I think it just goes hand in hand with the federation and also with corporate Jamaica as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's spot on. I don't even have anything else to add to that. I want to put up. I'm gonna put up the squad on the screen.
Okay.
Little bit because I really want your input. Just
Okay.
dissecting the squad and just how it looks from your vantage point. But before we get into that, Concacaf, where do you see, in your professional opinion, where do you see the Reggae Girls being ranked in Concacaf from the standpoint of qualification? Because I think we are fifth in the rankings right now in terms of in Concacaf, in terms of in the world rankings, we are the fifth highest ranked women's team in Concacaf. The US is first, not only in Concacaf, but in the world. Canada is 6th. Mexico is 27th. Costa Rica is 36th. Jamaica 51. Where do we rank? How good of a shot do we have to get, one of those 4.5 spots to down under?
We definitely have what it takes to get that spot. There's no doubt in my mind that we can get that spot. What I'm more concerned about is the extra noise. So the layer around the Reggae Girls. And when I talk about the layer, I'm talking about what's done within the coaching setup, and more importantly, I'm talking about what's done from the federation standpoint. And I'm keeping a very close eye on the federation because I think they're quite tricky. They're a little bit slippery at times. They're very good at token gestures, but token gestures don't get you to World Cups. Token
True.
gestures don't get you to lift trophies. So I'm keeping an eye on them, and I see that they're rolling out the red carpet with their token gestures, but we're not concerned about that. We're concerned about sincere support. We're concerned about support that's going to elevate us and make us go into further history. So we don't, not only do we want to be the one and only Caribbean nation to have our men's and women's team qualify for a World Cup apiece, but we also want to go a step further. We want to become the one and only to go on consecutive basis where our women's team is concerned. And one way of doing that is that comes down to collective effort. And much of the effort, aside from what's done on the field of play, relates back to the federation and how they conduct themselves and how they sell the girls. Last time round at the World Cup, I was annoyed because I'm trying to watch the girls play. And sometimes I'm watching friendlies and I'm being charged to watch a friendly. And it's just by the grace of God because I love the women's team so much and because it's my country. That's why I said I'm paying to watch this, but it's ridiculous. I think for be it the reggae girls or the reggae boys, once the national team is playing, they should be shown on TVJ for free. I know on this occasion against Bermuda that will be the case, but let that be the case for every single game, both the men's team and the women's team. How do you expect to galvanize a nation when you're putting the game on flow? No disrespect to flow, but can the average Jamaican afford flow sports? Like, are you kidding me? Average Jamaican can't, unfortunately. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. That I'm keeping an eye on them. You say you want people to buy into the Jamaican football, you want people to buy into women's football, but you have to weten their appetite. You have to sweeten their appetite. You have to make them a little bit hungry. So once you put it on television, Jamaica, and the girls go out there and give an incredible account of themselves, next time round you probably won't have to push as hard because naturally people are going to be like, okay, the reggae girls are playing, I'm going to go and watch them because it's probably easy and more pleasing on the eye to watch the women's team at the moment. Unfortunately, in comparison to our boys, a little bit stressful watching the boys at times, but yeah, that's the way I see things.
You know, one of the things that I am very disappointed in is that I don't think the federation does enough to introduce us to the players or to, familiarize us with the players. In terms like I'm looking at the squad thing that was put out, right? And some of the girls I know what positions they play. Some of them I don't, right? And it's really and truly difficult to find accurate information, as it pertains to, just some detailed information, about the girls. Like, for instance, I could bring up any male football player, never seen him play before, and I can have a good understanding of the type of player that this player is and what he's currently doing, like, for instance, in the current season, in a matter of minutes, whereas the girls, it's very difficult. And I think the federation probably needs to do a little bit better of a job in terms of, like, we can't support a product that we feel so far away from it, if I'm making sense.
No, you are making sense because naturally, unfortunately, as things stands, the men's game is more accessible than the women's game. So it's easy for me to track the progress of reggae boys globally, but it's a little bit more complicated when it comes to doing said task with the reggae girls, for obvious reason because of the league they play in and because of the matches. 9 out of 10 times they're not televised. So how do you track their process and so on? I think the federation, and this is why I say that it's a collective effort, and I am keeping an eye on them because they should be learning from their mistake at the last World Cup cycle, and they should have had a checklist by now to say, okay, that last time round, the Reggae Girls fans weren't happy. Why weren't they happy? They said this needed to be done, that needed to be done. If you cared and you wanted to make sincere changes, then you should by now most certainly have your checklist ready for the game against Bermuda, and you go through your checklist and say, have I done this? Have I not done this? Why haven't I done this? Who is to be held accountable? And so on. And it's just basic stuff, even the names on the back of the player's shirt. Even I was struggling when it was the Reggae Boys that were playing. And the only way I could tell is by looking at their movement or their
Yeah,
stature.
demeanor.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Other than that, I'm
yeah,
squinting at the TV. I'm like, who is that? I'm like, Jesus, I'm
yeah,
struggling. So with the Reggae
yeah,
Girlz, I know a lot of people are going to be pulling their hair out, their scalp, if the name's on the back of the players' jerseys, because how else are you supposed to know who is who unless you have a team sheet on hand? So when you're trying to sell a product to people, you don't want to make it difficult for them because people lose interest very easily. And they get frustrated as well when the information isn't presented right before their eyes.
yeah, yeah. Yo, hitting the nail on the head, man. Hitting the nail on the head. I was going to get to the squad next, but
Mm-hmm.
one dege thing before we get to the squad.
Yeah,
Preparation, Crystal. What do you think about the preparation for these
preparation is
upcoming
everything.
games? Has it
Preparation.
been good?
I think it's been fair. I think the preparation has been fair. I don't see nothing there that I can critique. So, well, fair play to the Football Federation. Long may it continue. I think the preparation has been steady so far. When you take into account, yes, we can sit here and say that we should have had more friendlies in the pipeline, despite of navigating through a pandemic. But at the end of the day, we don't have time to be looking back on the past. The past would have been 2021. We're now in 2022, so we have to adapt and move with the times. So I think as things stand, it looks as if we're in good hands. Bearing in mind that the players have been playing competitively. Most of the players have been playing competitively for their clubs.
Yeah.
So we're looking good. I don't see nothing there that's just a bit like a red flag or a huge cause for concern.
Busby. Busby. Oh,
Oh God.
his temporary departure. His
Yeah.
temporary departure. How before we get into the squad, how much of a blow was that to the preparation? Is that right before? It had to have had a massive impact.
You know what? I think it might have had an impact if we had got someone other than Vin Blaine, because what we have to remember is Vin Blaine should know these girls at the back of his hand because he's been here before with them. So it's not unfamiliar with the side. He knows the side, he knows the key players, and
Do
also
they
he's
know him?
yeah. The core players would be familiar with Vin Blaine. So again, I'm not like concerned about that. But if it had been someone that was completely random, then we would have been sat here thinking this is going to
Hmm.
be a whole new learning process for them. And for Vin Blaine as well, there will be things that he's trying to learn, he's trying to adjust. I'm sure he has vast experience with dealing with federation, and he would know that every federation have a problem. Are the JFF going to make life easy for him? Or they're going to make it smooth sailing? Or they're going to be a pain in the backside? Hopefully not the latter, because we don't really need disruptions at the moment. But I think so far it's safe to say that we should be okay based off what I've seen so far.
So JFF got the Vin Blaine move spot on then. You think so?
I
It was the
think
best they could do given the situation at hand.
I think, given again, like I said, given the situation, to know whether or not they got it spot on, I would need to see how they perform
Fair,
for the
fair.
first hurdle. Because I've given Vin Blaine some steady praises in terms of how he's conducted himself in the press conference. I think me and you even spoke at length about Vin Blaine and Paul Hall for their first separate press conferences, right? So we already dissected that. So I think he sounds well in the press conference. The only way I can really judge a man by his job is to actually see him in his job on a practical level. And also, I would need to, well, not I, we would need to know who else put themselves forward to take on the job to know what Vin Blaine was up against. But what I can say is Hubert Busby, like I said to you before, if he's even dreaming of taking back this job off Vin Blaine, it's probably not going to go well for him because so far Vin Blaine he's talking the talk at the moment. Now he just needs to put the wheels in motion.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put the squad up on screen
Mm-hmm.
because I really want to get your opinion. As a matter of fact, this is probably the number one main reason why you're here right now, Crystal. Just because I want to hear your opinion on this particular squad in
Okay.
terms of what you think about it. Let me just put it up on screen. Think you're seeing it now. Let me take off Shavan's comment. Wait, let me take off the banner as well.
Okay.
Hold on, there's something, but what is that at the end of it? I don't understand how that.
I
All of
think
a
that's a
sudden,
screenshot. That looks like it's a screenshot. Is it a screenshot that you've got?
look, I think probably. No, I
Yeah, it
think it's
looks.
other pictures in the gallery. I've
Oh,
never seen
okay.
that. I've never seen that come up before. I think it's only one name it blocking though. It's blocking Alika Keen.
Okay.
So so Alika Keen is there, but all right. So the squad now, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? First of all, is it a balanced squad in your opinion?
I think with what's available to us, outside of players not being able to accept their call up due to personal and documentation reasons, I think it's fair to say that it is a balanced squad, and it's quite pleasing on the eye to see our core players there. And I can name out the core players: Schneider, Jameson, Chantel Swaby, Alison Swaby, Chinalu Asher, Kayla McCoy, Khadija Shaw, Sashana Campbell, um, Shade Eldermulla-Kun, Trudy Carter, Tiffany Cameron, Jodie Brown, Dominic Bonflaza. So there you go. I've named that the core players. So they should. That's why I said I'm not really too concerned about whether or not the girls can manage the task ahead, because the bulk of our core players are still there. Obviously, due to no one's faults, or due to not outside of the decision making of the federation, and sorry, the federation coaches and the players as well, there's been a slight disruption in defense, but no one is
Yeah.
blamed for that. So defense, as we always knew, some months back when Vin Blaine took over the job on an interim basis, that the defense was always going to be the main area. That's the question mark for me, seeing how we can manage in defense, because defense has been the one that's had to be intentionally shaken up.
Mm. So you are comfortable with the squad then, given the individuals at Vin Blaine's disposal, basically.
Yeah, again, like I don't think you could have done any better than that
Is
squad.
there anybody missing that could have been in it that you would have wanted to have seen?
I would love to have seen Miss Plummer, Miss Konya Plummer, Captain Plummer, as we always like to call her. I'd love to have seen Konya
Wait,
around.
wasn't she our captain at the last World Cup?
Yeah, she was the captain. That's why I'm in such huge favor of Captain Konya Plummer. So would love to have seen her, but obviously she's not available at the
Why is
moment.
she not available though, Crystal?
Personal reasons. She's not available for
Oh,
personal reasons. So
okay.
she'll definitely be missed. She'll be greatly missed. Um Also in terms of integration of the new-ish players at the moment, I think a fan favorite would have been Drew Spence. I know people have ringing Drew Spence high praises, also Jade Bailey and Paige Bailey Gale as well. So it would have been nice to see them. Would have been great to see Matthews as well. Definitely going to be missing the presence of Matthews. But I think in terms of the players that's not available, particularly the ones in attack, it's great to see the likes of Sade there and Gray as well. So like for like, in integration to the side, and players who have received a recall up and so on. I'm not concerned.
Okay, cool. I have never proclaimed to be an expert on the Reggae Girls, right? But there is a name that I am a little bit familiar with. I'm familiar with the name because she would have been our only goal scorer at the last World Cup, or only female to score in a World Cup. And I'm noticing that she's not. on this roster. Why? What's the situation with her? You know, why is she not?
I think what we have to understand is for that position, we are stacked in attack. So you're referring to Havana Salone. So we are, and it's not a case of Havana has been missing and we've not seen Havana Salone. We've seen her around here
Yeah.
and there, but unfortunately, you can only go with 11 players in your starting 11 and also players from the bench as well. But I think unfortunately, for players who play in Havana's position, you're going to be missing out. You're going to be missing out, and that's the harsh truth that you sometimes just have to deal with, live with, if you want to put it that way, because not everybody can play in that team. And you know, you can look back at the game against United States. It was the summer, it was like a summer mini series, right, where we played against Nigeria, beat Nigeria 1-0, and unfortunately lost 4-0 against the United States. We saw Havana Salone, she was there for that game. So there are players that you're going to see 1 minute you might see them, next minute you might not see them. That could come down to personal choice, that could come down to coming back from injury, slow integration, that could come down to documentation reason, natural reasons. But I don't think from what I can see in terms of the players that you've highlighted, I don't see anyone that's like missing through complete intent, as in you are not part of the plans for the future, so you are not here. I think it's the coach going with what he wants to go with for the time being.
All right. I don't even say, people always refer to three departments, but it's really four: the goalkeepers, the defense, the midfield, and the attack. Which is our strong point. You alluded to it earlier, but which is our strong point and which is our, the point that is, not the strongest point.
I think it goes back to what I've said, really, in terms of, unfortunately, in this on this occasion, the weakest point, and I say that lightly, is the defense, unfortunately. And the strongest part is most certainly our attack.
Mm,
Like it is with the male counterparts, right? The attack is always moving.
yeah. That's spot on. That is spot on. You think this team is like a reflection of the male team, so to speak? Is it like, does it mirror the male team, so to speak, how it looks in terms of the quality, if you understand what I'm trying to say, the concentration of quality then?
That's an excellent question. I don't think it is. No disrespect
Okay.
to the our male counterparts, but I don't think it is. And I think what you can see, historically speaking, going back to the last World Cup qualifying campaign to the present, is that the team has always been quite diverse. It's a diversified squad. Um,
Mm,
one of the most diverse squad in the world, I would like to highlight. So I
yeah,
don't, I
yeah.
don't think it is, but there's no that doesn't mean it's a negative thing that they don't reflect each other.
But
But
it doesn't affect them though, Crystal, because they're just blending. Everybody looks to be on the same page. It's
exactly.
surprising, but it's a beautiful thing to see, to be honest.
Yeah, like these girls, like from being around them, they just seem to me, they just seem like a family. Honestly, like they're just so positive, so approachable. I remember when the Reggae Girls were in London for their World Cup send off. And it was so funny. It was like I was starstruck because I'm obviously a huge fan of the Reggae Girls, and I'm there
Yeah.
with my newspaper, the Voice newspaper. My editor is there. Um, we're all there. Uh, we're in a room. And it was Levi Roots. He has a restaurant, right? Levi Roots.
Yeah, yeah.
You know Levi Roots,
Reggae,
right?
reggae
Like
sauce.
Mr. Reggae Sauce. It was in his
Yeah,
restaurant.
man.
Levi, big up
Okay.
Levi. Levi opened the restaurant for the girls, right? And just come in and they eat, and it was just a magical moment.
Mm.
And I'm there and I'm looking
And
around, I'm just
you
like,
were there
I
for
was
that?
there. And I was like, I
Yo, that's
can't believe I'm
crazy, man.
actually here. I was like, I
Yeah.
cannot believe I'm actually here. But obviously there with the connection of my paper, and for I work elsewhere in football as well. So they were there as well. And so I'm there, and Jody, she's like vibrant, Tiffany, a few of the and then you had players like Who was there as well? Yeah, the entire squad. But one moment
Tiffany
that
seems
stood
to be an energy bunny.
out.
She seems to have a very vibrant personality.
The one moment that stood out to me was Konya Plummer, and it was just incredible. So they were going up. I think they were going up to get like little like care packages, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like sat like, you basically need to pass my table from where Kanye is sitting to get to the stage. I remember
Mm.
her getting up, and this is the Reggae Girlz captain, and she got up and she's going towards the stage, and she's like, "Hi," and I'm just like, "Did the Reggae Girlz captain just say hi to me?" And I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is the mannerisms of these girls are second to none. The fact that they're
Mm,
not looking at you and thinking that they're better than you or that they're bigger
mm.
than you. If the captain can say hello, then I can bet my last dollar that the rest of the players were more than likely to be saying hello to you. So the mannerisms is there, the attitude is right, the mindset is right, but they're just I cannot wait to be around that squad again to just feed off their vibration because they're just incredible people.
And you just touched on it, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
This squad really and truly, going off of what I know of women's football. In terms of, you have some players, playing at a very high level in this team, man. Like in our seriousness, man. We have some players in this setup that are playing at a very, very high level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's
High
crazy.
level, high level,
Yeah,
high level. I mean, look at the clubs that they play for.
yeah,
It's right
yeah. I
there in
mean,
front of
you
you.
see Tottenham, Washington, Spirit is in the women's first
Yeah,
division, right?
yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
women's
Success.
US first division is no joke. I've
No
actually
joke,
seen
success. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
actually seen games in the women's US first division, and I'm telling you, man. So, some of them side they could have whop up some of our local men's JPL team. Now I'm in a business who want to to that. Seeing, I just the truth, man. So Sydney Schneider, top goalkeeper, Washington Spirit. How,
Mm-hmm.
how good of a keeper is she? How like in the grand scheme of things, Concacaf. How good is she in Concacaf?
Mature. She's mature. I imagine the likes of USA, if they could have nabbed her, they would have nabbed her.
Crystal,
Because
hold on, stick up in. Write down your point, Crystal. Don't write down your point in your brain, Crystal. Don't forget it.
okay.
That is an excellent point. You just raised. Sorry for cutting, Crystal, but may have to get into this. There are a number of players in this squad that I'm a little bit surprised that we got them. There are a couple of them in the squad that, because when you look at some of them, they are like youth representatives for like the US, ex-youth representatives for the US or for England or for Canada. Don't forget your point in a Crystal, but we just have to talk about that. Like, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's great. I'm gonna probably like shut something down. I don't want nobody wandering off and leaving the live stream thinking, oh, great job to the Jamaica Football Federation. No, great job to the coaches for going out there and going above and
Yeah.
beyond and seeking and finding these rough diamonds and giving them an opportunity. Um, and that's probably one of the clear difference with the men's team and the women's team, the lengths that the women's team go to achieve ultimate greatness. You can clearly see that there's a divide there. Some are doing something better, utilizing their tools because they have no choice, and unfortunately some haven't reached that level yet, just perhaps no fault of their own. But sometimes I sit and I just smile and I think, if you watch football, you know the name Schneider. That's not exactly a American name, is it? Schneider. So you could think of the countries that could have had her again. The United States could have had her because of her name. Germany could have had her, and it makes me feel quite full of pride, beaming in pride to think that Jamaica are the ones that Sydney Schneider represent. And like you said, there's other girls in that team that could have represented other nations, but they represent
Yeah.
Jamaica. So yeah, now I could go on all night and just like ring praises to these girls because they deserve the utmost of respect.
Yeah, you remember your point, Crystal? I don't think you do. You
You
remember it?
Sydney Schneider. I was talking about Sydney Schneider, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to think back. Sydney Schneider
I'm sorry, Crystal.
could
I
have
just got
played
very
for
excited.
could have played for the United States. Is that what you're referring to?
No, man, it was before that. It's all right. It's
Really?
not a big
Okay,
deal.
I stick the
It
pin
was
at the wrong
before that.
time then. My apologies. You have to
No,
re-jog your
man.
memory.
Really and truly is me. I am the one that should be apologizing because I got so excited because it's like light bulbs went off in my head when you said that. Me just have to address that point because I just think it was a very important point
Yeah.
that needed to be addressed. Bonnie Shaw,
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie Shaw. Top play. Is Bonnie Shaw world class in the women's game?
Absolutely, in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. Um, my only disappointment is I'm not really liking how she's being profiled in the UK. I think they're not appreciating her for who she is. And I'm not talking about Manchester City, I'm talking about the media. So let me make that very clear. I think they kind of just gloss over what Bunny does when she comes on and she's the super sub. They don't really hype her up as well as perhaps they should. But maybe that might come down to the fact that she isn't English. She doesn't represent
Yeah,
England. So it's not one of
yeah.
their own product. So in essence, why should they? That's the only thing I could really think of saying, and that's to no fault of Bunny. But Bunny is a world class player,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
could play for any team in the world. Any team in the world, she could go on and play for them and give an incredible account of herself as well.
By the way, guys, smash the like button. Fair and easy way to support. I know enough about the women's game to know that the French league is one of the top leagues in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see the numbers that she put up in France,
Incredible.
outrageous, man.
Yeah, incredible.
Just ridiculous. Yeah.
Exactly. And we know that about to say Bordeaux, we know that Leon, one of the most successful women's team in the world, just absolute giants within women's football. And to think that you're going up against the likes of Leon and you're piping their players to player of the season with what they've
Champions of
done,
Europe.
come on. And it's just like stuff like that can never be overlooked. So she's
Yeah.
already said, can I mix with the best of the best? She can mix with the best of the best because she's done it over there in France. And so yeah, I think any league you put her in, any team you put her in, she's bound to shine. The team might not shine, but she will most certainly shine.
You know what's so crazy to me? We're talking about a Bunny Shaw being world class. And I can't wrap my mind around how did Jamaica produce a player like that? In terms of, we know the talent is here in abundance, but our development system is so flawed, right? How did somebody like that rise to the level that she's at, being born and bred in Jamaica? It's
I think
crazy.
again, I think it goes back to that trajectory that we spoke of with Bunny, and look at her career trajectory, and look at the roles that the coaches play, and I say coaches and not the federation, in helping Bunny to elevate to that next level. And obviously we know that she was in Tennessee, over in the States for her college years, and even then she was making a name for herself. People were looking at thinking, Bunny, who is Bunny? And looking at saying, oh, okay, so that's who she is. So I think it's been great that she's had that experience, that overseas experience, and also her upbringing. Yeah, her playing football in her community, playing with the boys, just natural stuff
Mm,
that we hear from women's football players. But yeah,
yeah.
she's been fortunate to, she can perhaps take the bulk of that the bulk of that achievement and say that it's down to her own hard work, and many can't disagree with that, because she does come across as a lovable, likable, and a professional, somebody who takes their trade very serious.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, she
To
can
get to
definitely.
that level, you have to. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's only so much that your coaches and your agent and your representative can do for you. At the end of the day, you have to go out there and do the hard work.
Yeah, no, no, I agree. I agree. That's spot on. I think that we are blessed to have a Bunny Shaw, because I think that Bunny can be the X factor for us. You know, if we're gonna get to the World Cup. I mean, she was it the last time, and I think, I mean, we all know she definitely has a very important role to play. But I'm really, from the perspective of, it's so rare to have a world class forward in your ranks, like somebody who just is an absolute monster. So when you do have it in your rank, somebody that just scores for fun, is just a real blessing, man. It's just a
Yeah,
real
I think
blessing.
I think we're definitely fortunate to have the likes of Bunny in our team. So yeah, we're looking like we're in a decent position so far.
Yeah. All right. So we're winding down. But because I did tell Crystal less than an hour, and it's 50
It's
minutes
okay.
already. So, but the two upcoming games now, Bermuda and who was we playing
Grenada.
again? Grenada.
Grenada.
Yeah. We should win these two games comfortably, don't you think, Crystal?
Comfortable, that's an interesting word. We should definitely be winning it, but I want to take like each game as they come. So before I look to Grenada, I want to focus on Bermuda and see what we can do against Bermuda. Again, I don't doubt our ability to go out there and win matches, but we can't really avoid the truth, the factor. And the fact is, and I know I said that, it's not about looking back at the past, but one of the facts from the past is that we've not had time. We've not had time to come together and reconnect, form that unity. And that's one of the reason why Vin Blaine said that he's going to be focusing on the defense, because obviously defense is one of our weakest elements. So that's something that I'll be keeping an eye on. But I think that we'll go out there and we'll get maximum points from the first two games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, guys, in the comment section, sorry for ignoring you guys. I put up your comments on the screen, but we haven't been reading them out. So, our apologies for that. So, basically, I think, most of us are expecting the girls to, you know, get through the first phase. I think most of us expect that. It's gonna be a tricky situation, in the next round, when we come up against some really, really, really world class teams, right? Some teams that are just on a next level, But yeah, I think, me personally, I'm no expert in women's football, but I think we should get past Bermuda. I think we shouldn't be struggling against Bermuda. I think we'll
No,
be
I
very
don't. I,
concerned
I don't
if
think
that
we'll.
happens.
Mm?
I think we should be very concerned if we see this team struggling to get past Bermuda.
Yeah, no disrespect to Bermuda
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Grenada,
yeah,
but obviously we don't want to look at our opponents as the underdog, because that might turn around and bite us. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I can't speak for everyone, but I am expecting a win. I'm not expecting neither Bermuda or Grenada to beat us. Huge respect to both nations, but I don't think they're going to beat us. So as I said, I think now it's just a matter of take it one step at a time as the game comes. But yeah, I'm feeling good going into the game against Bermuda on Thursday night.
yeah, yeah. All right. So name me the three key players for the Reggae Girls in this upcoming. In this upcoming. That's the second to last question I'm
That's
asking.
a hard one. That is a
Mhm.
very hard question. It's a very hard question. 3 key players. Bunny is obviously one of them.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Swabish sisters, but you said 3. So the Swabish sisters would be Chantel and Alison.
And Alison, yeah. And those are your final 3?
No. I'm still thinking. So I'm thinking. It's such a hard question. 3 key players. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Key
We
players.
know Bunny is what. You know what? I should make it a little easier for you. Besides Bunny, you have 3 key players.
Oh God, you've not actually made it any easier. Bunny was actually quite perfect for me. Schneider, Alison. This is where it gets a little bit tricky.
Who is the 3rd? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with someone that probably many wouldn't go with straight away. I'm gonna go with Carter.
Trudy Carter?
I'm gonna go with Carter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carter. It is an interesting pick. That's why I picked Carter.
Why Carter?
I think Carter, I think sometimes the work that she does is probably not easily picked up on. I don't know why that is, but I think she's a player that definitely holds her own, and she has the ability, she has what it takes in her locker to be the glue inside this team. So I'm gonna say, yeah, Trudy.
All right, then, cool. And finally, you know your opinion speaks the loudest when it comes to the Reggae Girlz, right? So you have to think about this very carefully now. This
Okay.
last question.
Okay.
We can get a starting 11 out of your Crystal.
Wow.
It's just because I don't remember the name of the software where I don't put it up on screen right now.
I don't even know my own starting 11. I've been trying to think of this and it's been rattling. I'm laughing because this very same question has been rattling my brain. I think it's safe to say that Bunny is going to start. I think you could say Jody Brown as well.
What formation?
That's the thing. The reason why I'm struggling is because of the disruption in defense.
Yeah.
And we've not managed to see them since that disruption. So
yeah.
I think it would be unfair of me to give a formation because in some sense I might be throwing players under the bus.
All right. In your what's the best formation you see to get the best out of this crop of players?
Jesus. This is a tough one, Formula. Remove that comment again for me. It's a tough one. Trying to think back.
The last player is Alika King.
Yeah, I think I've got her on my I've got Alika on my list. You can look up my list because your list is her in my eyes. It's such a difficult one because I quite like how we lined up against Costa Rica despite the results. And that was with the integration of the new players. So Paige Bailey-Gale and Drew Spence, Jade Bailey as well. They were all part of the starting 11 along with Williams and Bunny. It's a tough one. I think you're going to see the Swabish sisters at the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the Swabish sisters at the back. I think you might see, Jesus, no clue how he's going to do this. You might see based on...
You want me to put you out of your misery, Crystal?
Yeah, I think I might need you to put me out of my misery. I think the players who are guaranteed to start, I will say this, guaranteed because I don't have a clue. I would say Sydney. Let me look at your team. Sydney, Chantel, Allison, Asha, Campbell. That's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trudy, Cameron. How many places is that?
7.
Bunny. Obviously, Jody. So that's what, 10 players, right?
Mm-hmm. 9
Bon,
or 10.
I feel like that was 10. Bon
Yeah.
Flazer as well.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Formation wise, I'm struggling with the formation because I said,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that defense is gonna change. So I'm not sure what Vin Blaine has in mind in terms of his defensive approach, but it's most certainly gonna change. But I think you can almost guarantee on Sydney starting. Jesus,
Is
he
this
might not
though
even start.
is this
Um,
an indication of a headache for Vin Blaine though?
it is
In
a
terms
headache,
of
a
kicking?
beautiful headache. It's a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
headache to have. It's a beautiful headache to have. Because I'm saying Sydney's almost guaranteed to start, but he could go with Spencer. He could go with Rebecca Spencer. I think most certainly you will see the Swaber sisters start.
Yeah, I think those two
Yeah, I
are
think those are
yeah,
confirmed
yeah,
starters, right? You're gonna
yeah.
see Chantel, you're gonna see Allison, you're gonna see Bunny, you're gonna see Brown, you're gonna see Cameron, Dominic Bonflazer as well, Trudy, Asha. Like I've said, it's a headache to be honest with you. It's
Yeah.
one of those. It's one of the reasons why I don't usually look into starting 11s because it's such a problem for me to sit and actually think.
You
But
don't normally do starting 11s on your show.
never.
Come
I
to
don't
think
think.
about it, I don't think I've ever seen you do one, to be
Yeah, it's
honest with
a
you.
headache. It's a headache. It's even more of a headache when you have squad depth because you're thinking, where
Yeah.
do I go from here? Because the more I think about it, he might even very well start Spencer ahead of Schneider. I have no clue what he's going to do, but yeah, it's a headache. It's an absolute headache. And he might even start McCoy as well. It's a headache. That's all I can say is that it's
You
an
mean Rangers McCoy, Kayla
yeah,
McCoy?
Kayla McCoy might start
Okay.
Kayla McCoy. Kayla McCoy is giving him reasons to start her. So honestly, I don't know what the formation is going to look like. You've given me something to think about. I don't have a clue what this formation is going to look like.
This is definitely though a positive for
It
Vin
is a
Blaine.
positive.
Yeah.
I think you can say of all the players, Bunny is gonna start. The Swaby sisters is gonna start.
And that's probably about it in terms of show starters.
I think Trudy is a show starter as well. I think
Okay.
if you sorry, if you don't want to if you're focusing on the core players, he may very well start Cameron as well. I don't have a clue how he's gonna do that one, but all I can say is good luck to him, and hopefully he gives us a
Yeah,
really
I think more than likely Tiffany Cameron
yeah, that's
will
what I'm saying. It's a
yeah,
headache.
yeah,
It's an absolute
yeah,
headache, but it's a beautiful headache to have. It's not
yeah.
one that I'm not mad at. Whatever decision Vin Blaine has to make.
I was particularly impressed with Tiffany in the US game,
Exactly.
even
That's what
though
I'm
it was
saying. That
rough on us going forward, I think she did provide a spark going
that's
forward.
that's what I'm saying. That I think she's gonna start. I think Tiffany's going to start because, like we've always said, if something isn't broken, why fix it? And another player that I think will start as well is Campbell. If I haven't said Campbell, Sashana Campbell. So I think it will be the bulk of the
At
core
right back, she
players.
was all right back
Yeah,
in the last World Cup. Yeah,
yeah. So it's just like Sashana Campbell because of her experience as well. So
yeah,
it's actually an absolute headache. Who to start, but yeah,
yeah.
I don't have a clue, but good luck to him. This is why
All right.
I
Let me,
don't
let
touch
me take
starting
it.
11s.
Crystal, Mr. feel sorry for you know. I'm sorry to put you in such an uncomfortable
No, it's
situation.
okay. It's okay. It's nice to have
Because
a
you
moment where
look
I'm like, damn, I really have to think about this
you
one.
look like you did stress out yourself for put that together a while
It's
ago.
a headache formula. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
headache, but yeah, it just
yeah,
goes to show about our squad depth, if anything.
yeah, yeah. Quickly before we get out of here, what's the situation with Drew Prince, Paige Bailey Gale, and Jade Bailey? Do you like know the particulars in terms of what's going on with those players?
Well, from based off what was said in the press conference for the 23 player squad, they basically Mr. Blaine basically said it was for documentation reasons. So that's a bit of a familiar tune, isn't it? Players not
And that
available.
was it. He
Yeah,
didn't
that was
expound
it.
on it.
Documentation, and I think I don't necessarily think that there is any room for him to expand because we've been here before. We've heard
Mm.
documentation as to why players aren't in the squad, be it with our male counterparts and now with the women's team. So I think it's more of the same. This is why I said that I'm looking at the JFF because you should have your checklist. You should have your book of saying at this point of the
Yeah,
World Cup qualifiers, we should have had certain things in place. And if you
yeah,
didn't learn from the Reggae Girls last World Cup cycle, then you should have
yeah,
at least learned from the men's World Cup cycle, because that was just the other day. So there's really and truly no excuses here. So yeah, there's plenty to think about with regards to the players who aren't in the squad for the time being.
yeah, yeah. I think that it would have been so good to have had these players, being able to be in this, like have the full gamut, or just basically have everybody playing as many games as possible together.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
always something that you want. You
Yeah.
never want it to be a case where key players are missing, even though we should be able to get through the quality we have, just from a team chemistry standpoint, on and off the pitch as well.
You
you
know
know
what? I would have been more concerned, or would have been red flags would have been flying left, right, and center if the bulk of our core players were missing, because then you pretty much have to knock down that foundation and build from scratch. But at
yeah,
least you can say that the foundation is already there. It's just a case of revamping the squad, but not entirely. It's just adding to what's already there. So in that regard, you can probably come up with 9 players from the starting 11 that's core players, right? So we shouldn't really be in panic mode and say, oh no, we're probably not going to go according to plan, because the core players are there at the end of the day. It just comes down to who is going to start, and that will come down to preferential decision.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so Crystal, that is it. I think we have gone through everything that we need to go through, in this preview for the big upcoming game for the Reggae Girls. The Reggae Girls looking to get back to the FIFA World Cup, a second consecutive FIFA World Cup berth or FIFA World Cup appearance. The girls are looking to do that, and their campaign starts at 6 p.m. Jamaica time at the National Stadium on Thursday, the 17th of February. So, we're wishing the girls all the best. I'm really, really excited to see how the girls do. Crystal, any last words on your part?
Thank you for inviting me on. Long overdue. Absolute joy, absolute blessing being able to share the same platform as you. And I'm definitely looking forward to linking up with you on your platform again sometime in the near future. And also big up everyone in the comment section as well. I can't see your comments on screen unless it's actually brought up, because I can't see the comment section. But
For real?
massive, yeah, I can't see it. I like there's
You
nothing on
you
my
go
screen.
you go on what you go on the comment. You don't see the comment section to click on the
Mm-mm.
right hand side of the screen.
No, there's nothing there. Nothing at all. All I'm
That
seeing is just your banner. So you know where not even the private chat. I can't even see the private comment section. So
that's strange.
yeah, it is what it is.
That's
But
that's strange.
yeah, just massive big up to everyone in the comment section. I hope the Reggae Girls can kickstart your week, many of your week, or close out your week with 3 delightful points. And if that is the case, I also hope that you have a tremendous weekend.
Yeah. I think that, you know, it would be very good if the girls can, help us to get past, the disappointment that we'd have had with the boys. And because, enough people still depressed over the whole situation there, man. May I tell you, say, Crystal, he did after the Panama game. No,
Mm.
not lie, not the Panama game, the Mexico game when such man dash it away. Seeing such man shall remain nameless. May I tell you, say, coming like me, if I was on the stream, I'm never even there on the stream, to be honest with you. Like a man like Shavan and some of my guest panelists were bringing the stream because me there on the stream, I'm just like probably for about an hour upon the stream and I say nothing. Honestly, man. But they just devastated, man. You know when you don't know what to do with yourself?
Yeah,
Like when
I've
it's
been there.
done.
I've
Yeah,
been
when
there
it's
with
done.
with the men's side, and thankfully I don't allow it to get to me as much. But I definitely know how that feels.
I don't know why I'm gonna tell myself that this a team I still did have a chance. But hopefully the girls can,
Hmm.
bring us some joy, some World Cup joy, man. They managed to do it a couple of years ago. Gave us some World Cup joy after a long World Cup drought. I think the
Mhm.
last team previously before that to qualify was the under 17 boys for a World Cup. I think they were the last ones, if I'm not mistaken, and that happened a while ago.
And that was distant memory, right?
Yeah. So, again, all the best to the girls. We're wishing the girls all the best. Guys, support the girls who watch the games. I personally will be doing a watch along, and I know Crystal will be doing a watch along as well. So, support the girls, support the watch alongs, and let's just back the girls, man. And Mannings was saying it earlier. Please do not verbally abuse the girls. It's not a good look. See, enough of as Mannings or Spotter, enough of don't even know Jack about women's football. Seeing, I don't know one for no, and I can't deal with the girls them away. Seeing, we have to deal with it. As a matter of fact, I'm not even in favor of how we dealt with the boys.
I know. I think me and you're on the same page as this because we spoke about it at length. It was distasteful,
Yeah.
awful the way
Yeah.
we dealt with the men's team, and hopefully we won't do that with the women's team. But it was just we lack class in the 12th man. Definitely lack some class. So hopefully that will just be a thing of the past. And moving forward, starting off with the Reggae Girls, we won't see what we saw the last World Cup qualifying campaign with the boys.
Yeah, and especially, I really feel it for
Mm.
Theodore Tapa with more. Man,
Oh God.
then deal with Tapa with.
Yeah, Tapa
Gotcha.
got beaten. He got
Yeah,
several,
yeah,
several. I don't even know
yeah.
if he watches social media like that. So maybe he doesn't
Well,
even know.
instead football and play upon social media, so I think he has an idea of what goes on social media.
Fair enough, he probably does, but he probably don't care too tough.
I tried to beat him respectfully, but honestly, the amount of people that were piling on him,
Mm-hmm.
in hindsight, it was probably best that me never say nothing and me just leave him alone because him did already get
Mm.
enough beating.
Mm. I
Like
think
it was bad.
I think going back to what we said, what I said over on Manning's channel, that criticism is inevitable, is part of the game and is part of life, be it in your normal 9 to 5 or in your personal life. You're going to be criticized one way or another, but it's how you deliver the criticism. That's what matters. Players more likely to accept your criticism, take on board your criticism, implement your criticism or your feedback if it's done respectfully. But if it's covered and coded and quoted in abuse, then who's going to listen to that? If anything, you're going to be making matters worse because you're going to be disrupting their headspace. So yeah, I don't think the players mind being criticized. It's perhaps just how the 12 man choose to criticize them.
Yeah, spot on. Yes, baller kick. 2,500, I think,
Yeah.
spectators. I actually wanted to go, but the whole vaccination thing there, you know, the whole Babylon system there. So I just
You
let
know, for a
go.
minute, I know. You know, I thought that you was vaccinated.
No,
You
I
seem
am
like you're
not.
part of the vax gang.
No, trust me, trust me.
Or maybe me get to realize something says. Some people say them not vaccinated, but really and truly them vaccinated. Maybe you're vaccinated in a formula and I beat up the vaxxers them. Maybe you're vaccinated. You
Honestly,
seem like a vaxxer.
honest to God, we're not vaccinated. But no, but it's a solid point that you're raising, a Crystal, because
So many
a whole
people
heap
them
of people
wicked.
now be truthful,
Yeah.
but what take place in a man.
About anti-vax this
That's
and
true.
this. Them already got take them vaccine and still a talk about anti-vax this. Then terrible.
Honestly, though, I'm not vaccinated. That's the only reason why I'm not going.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I haven't been to any of the male games either
Yeah.
because I'm not vaccinated. Because my thing is that when they aren't fans, they don't usually require vaccination.
Mm.
So I did not realize that they were gonna be fans because it had not been announced as yet. So when
Yeah.
I applied, and to my surprise, I received an email saying, by the way, you need to send your vaccination card. At that point in time, I was informed that, you know, that name did I go work out too good. So and then
Mm.
after that, I think coach called me and tell me, Coach Minzy from Coach's Desk called me and told me that fans were approved for the game. And then little bit after that it was publicly announced. So
Oh,
mm,
okay. Oh, that seems like it might be the way forward. With the way the pandemic has a chokehold on the world. So, who knows? Maybe that might be the thing for the foreseeable future.
yeah. All right, so I've kept Crystal long enough. I want to thank Crystal for her, you know, punditry or commentary tonight. As I said, man, she's the leading authority when it comes to, all things reggae girls. She's the first person you draw for when it comes to, the reggae girls. So I told her this before we got on the stream, and I'm gonna tell her again, couldn't do this stream without her. So, really and truly, she being here is much appreciated. I think I need to invite you more on my stream, Crystal.
I would love, as long as time permits, I am definitely here. No two ways about that. Definitely. Always a blessing. This is the second time that we've linked up and I like the chemistry. It's very it's transparent and it isn't forced. So yeah, I love it. Quite comfortable sitting on your platform.
Same here, and
The
honestly, I think
man, the man
Simon, yeah
himself,
man, big up Simon Preston, big
the
up boss,
man
big up.
himself.
Honestly though, Crystal, I really and truly should be ashamed of myself. Just now I am inviting onto my platform. I should be ashamed,
No,
but
it's
going
fine.
forward, I'll try to do better.
You know what my problem is, like I don't like interrupting people. So I want to ask someone to come on my platform, but I'm like, oh no, I don't want to like interrupt them or
That's me
because
too. That's me too.
it's
That
something
that's
I need
spot
to
on.
break
That's
out
me
of.
too. You
Yeah.
see the thing with me, Crystal, I don't like run up in a people,
Yeah.
and
That's
I don't like to really ask people to inconvenience people. But because you
exactly.
and I already had that reasoning, and you say, oh, anytime, I want you to come on, I must just link you. And if you're available, you jump on. So
Yeah,
that's the
I
only
will.
reason I'm brave up and shout you, to be
No,
honest
don't
with you.
hesitate. Trust me, don't hesitate to ask me to come on your platform all day. Like even today, like today was a manic day. But as soon as yourself and Mannings asked me, I was like, yeah, I have to go and speak on their platform. And I haven't even done nothing for my platform yet, but I was just like, no, I love speaking with these guys, so let me just make some time for them.
You need to get both myself and Mannings on your preview show. Oh, that
Yes,
sound.
yes,
Oh, that sound.
yes, 100%, 100. I'm in. I'm gonna give Mannings a shout. Possibly in the morning now, because it's what time is it now? 10 minutes to 1, and I think he was doing another live. When they see Simon knows. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Cameron, McCoy. It's hard to drum up a starting 11.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
hard. McCoy,
yeah,
she's given every reason to be part of that starting 11. Cameron as well for what she's done in Hungary, and Shaw, we know Shaw already. So good
yeah,
luck to him with putting together that starting 11. I'm glad that he's in that position and not me, because it's a tough one.
yeah, yeah. Tennessee, big up, boss, big up Karoom as well. Karoom,
Kareem.
you're late, boss. You're forward in the dance when the dance are done, Karoom. You don't understand you. I want to go back in time to where it take place in the earlier stages of the dance. You don't understand you, boss. We already spoke about that, Karoom. We're closing off. We've been closing off for like the last 10 minutes. Guys, take care of yourself, big up on yourself. Remember, support the girls. If you can get to the stadium, get to the stadium. If not, watch it on TV. Wishing the girls all the best. Again, big thank you to Crystal. Thank you to all the viewers, all the commenters in the comment section, and all the silent watchers. Big up on yourself as well. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and until next time. And by the way, putting Crystal's link in my description. 1 and 2. Look out for the preview video with Crystal as well coming up. So, guys, take care and stay safe.
Take care, guys.